Hey, welcome back to the Traveler Toolkit. My name is Joel, and today we are hooking up the RV, going on a camping trip. But before we do that, we have to maneuver ourselves around the driveway a little bit. And one of our most popular videos of last year was a video about a trailer dolly that enabled us to do that without a vehicle from the ground. And so we've got another trailer dolly to take a look at today that I really think you're gonna like. It's one that's been very popular for a long period of time. It's called the Parkit360, and we have the Force 10K model, which means it's capable of towing a trailer up to 10,000 pounds. Now, our camper is only about 5,000 pounds, maybe a little more when it's fully loaded, so this is light work for this trailer dolly, but I wanted to check this out because there's been a lot of buzz around this unit, the quality and the longevity of the company, so we're gonna dive into all the details, show you how it works, and see if it's a good buy for you. All right, so before we hook up to the trailer itself, let's take a walk around the unit so you can see how it's put together, what the features are, and just in general, how it works. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's go over the basics. First off, you have a handle here on this end, and it's got a long bar that connects to the motor and the wheels. Obviously, you will connect your trailer right here, and it comes with several different balls that you can hook on there. There's a 2-inch and a 2 5/16 inch. You wanna make sure you choose the correct size for your trailer. In our case, that's 2 5/16. And I would say for most significant campers, travel trailers, it's going to be 2 5/16. Smaller trailers might have a 2-inch ball, but this is probably what you're going to need. And unlike other trailer dollies where this is all fixed and stationary, this post actually comes out, and we'll get to that when we're hooking up, but it's pretty interesting how it works and locks onto the coupler of your trailer. Really inspires a lot of confidence. That's why I like this unit so much. And so we've got the handle, we've got the connection point here, then right here you have your battery, which I love that it's completely exposed. This thing is out here, it's not weather sealed or anything, but obviously you're not going to be using this out in inclement weather probably, but it makes it super easy to change. It's got a lip all the way around it that keeps this battery in place, and then they have a Parkit360 strap that you just pull tight, tie up your excess. That's all extremely easy to use, and here's why I like this setup. It's got these little 6-inch connection cables that when you are storing the unit, you can simply pull and disconnect. It's got this 12-volt plug right here that connects right into the unit, and then that way it doesn't drain your battery when you're setting in storage unused. I mean, the reality of a machine like this is it's going to be setting unused more than it will be used. It's probably only called up for duty every now and then, but it's going to be sitting a long period of time between those uses most likely. So you can unhook it, the battery stays fully charged, then when you're ready to go, it's super simple. Just take this, push it down in here, click, and you're connected. So I love that. The other thing I like is that they have readouts for all of your battery information around the back here. Right here, when you're plugged in, it's kind of hard to see on the screen, you have a voltage meter that's showing you the current voltage of the battery. So you want to make sure right now we're reading at 12.4, which is pretty good. And then along the side here, it's even harder to see, they have a battery level indicator, but it gives you a little indication of how full your battery is, if it might need charged. And around the back side, they actually provide a cable. You can charge it in this little port here, so you can give your battery a little boost through this port. So out of the box, everything down here is already assembled. All you have to really do is connect this handle. Right here, you have 2 little Allen head threaded rods. They're not even screws, they don't have heads. They go in here and here that secure this handle, and then you simply make your connection here to the battery and motor, tighten that in, and you are 100% done. Then putting your post together is the only other thing you'll need to do. One more thing on the back side of this unit is I really like that this has both a high and a low setting. We're gonna test that out on the trailer and see which one we prefer, but having a switch that gives you high and low controls is really nice. And then obviously, we didn't mention it yet, but obviously this is your thumb control. You can press down to come back, and then up to go forward. Right now, I don't have the wheels engaged, which I also like. See how I can roll these wheels freely right now? That's not possible when the motor is engaged. So they have this little switch right here on the side where you can engage the motor and disengage the motor. So if I go down here and simply twist, Now I'm going to engage the motor, and when I press on my throttle button, it now moves the wheels. But you'll notice when engaged, I can't drag the unit. It's impossible, the wheels don't turn. So if I want to simply maneuver it around on my own power, I disengage everything, and then I can move it around on my own power. This is a lot easier when you're moving things kind of over longer distances or getting up close to your trailer like this. Much easier to do it under your own power than wait on the slow motor. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, then odds are you're going to enjoy all the other videos I post on this channel about camping, the outdoors, RVing. There's lots of great content coming. So if you're not already, consider subscribing to the channel and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And working our way to the front of the unit here, you'll see your brake connection. This is where your 7-pin trailer wire is going to connect. We'll do that in just a minute. Really important to do that because then it connects this dolly to your trailer's braking system so that when you let off that throttle button, the trailer stops and doesn't run away. That's always one of my main concerns. What's the trailer going to do when it starts to go down a little bit of an incline? Well, this is going to keep it right where it is within reason and keep you safe. Also want to point out these are really nice, sturdy, stable tires. So 16-inch air-filled tires, great tread on them, and we have a chain drive right behind the one on the left here. This is connected to your motor. It's a really simple machine, but it seems to work really well and be put together really thoughtfully. So now that we know how it's put together, all the features of it, let's go ahead and put it on the trailer, demo it, move it around. That's what you really want to see, and I want to see how well it moves, how easy it is to operate, and just overall what the user experience is like. Okay, so when we go to hook this up to our trailer, the first thing we want to do is take this section or this post out, make sure we have the correct size ball, and you'll kind of see here that it turns. That's because you're going to screw this onto your coupler really tight. And if you have a flat bottom coupler like we do, you're going to leave this little puzzle piece on. If you have a step down coupler, you're going to simply remove that. So we're going to leave that on there for now because we want it to be flat. And you'll see how this just kind of moves. You want it to be pretty loose near the top so you can fit it all the way in and lock it into your coupler to get things started. So let's go ahead and do that. Stick it under here. There we go. Now we're locked in. But you'll see we're still kind of loose down here. Now you just want to take this and you want to twist it all the way until this is flush on this. We're just turning it with our hands. I'm turning it clockwise. And as tight as I can go with my hand, then it comes with this bar that you want to use to tighten it the rest of the way. So you insert it into one of these holes and continue to tighten. So we'll insert it all the way over here. Continue to tighten. Okay. And I would say after hand tight, this was about 4 full turns with the bar. So just set this aside when you're done. And you'll notice here now there is no space between our coupler and our hitch. This is all nice and tight. Can pull the trailer with it. Now we need to raise this so the bottom of this post can go into the Force 10K from Parkit360. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now remember, we're not engaged yet, so I can just push this on up here and check where we are. And you'll see that they don't quite match up. What you want to do is stick it up to level, and then you want to make sure you're engaged so this doesn't roll away. And you want to stick something underneath the Parkit360 down here to keep this level so that you can lower this down on. So let's get something to put underneath. Okay, so I found a couple bricks in the garage. I'm just going to set these under here and make sure I can kind of match the height here. Yeah, I like that a lot. Nice and level. And now we are on the Parkit360. It's taking all the weight of the trailer. Now the first thing we want to do before we remove our chocks is put our brake controller in. Now the Parkit360 has control over the brakes. All we need to do now is remove our chocks and our blocks, and we can start moving this with the Parkit360. Let's do that. And we've got these nice built-in chocks with our ember that lock down the wheels. So all I do is remove that, pull the pin, and we're good to go. All right, so now we're ready to move. We have the motor engaged here. We have everything on, plugged in, brake controls, hitch top, and I've just kind of put my 7-pin cable up there so it doesn't get caught. Then all I need to do is use my thumb throttle here to kind of get things going. So let's go. Gonna go backward. Well, that's a nice takeoff. We are in high right now, which may not seem like it's very fast, but when you're moving 5,000 pounds, it's plenty fast. Now let's test the stopping power, just getting going. I'm gonna let off the throttle, and you'll kind of see it comes to a slow stop. Now, compared to the other trailer dollies that we've tried, I kind of like that because there was another one specifically we tried that had a real jerky motion to it when we let off the throttle. This one kind of runs out maybe another 10 inches to a foot. So just be aware of that. When you let go of the throttle, it's gonna keep going in whatever direction you were going for maybe another foot. So give it plenty of room when you're trying to stop on a dime, but it did stop it. I mean, we're going down a little incline here. I did stop it just fine. Seems like the brake controls are working, so let's get it moving again. Test the turn. Yeah. You got to put a little muscle into it to turn it. Maybe use both your hands to do that. But it's not going up and down like I thought it would. It's staying very centered and level, the unit itself. Now I'm going to stop right here and bring you in to see something on my trailer that might not be the case for everybody's, but make sure you keep an eye on all the components that are moving. Look at this wheel, how it's really close. It's just the setup we have. If this hitch was set down lower, this wouldn't be an issue, but make sure you're watching this. As we're turning, it looks like I could turn it so sharp that I would hit the wheel. That's nothing wrong with the machine. That's just the way my specific trailer is set up. So watch those things, realize they're a reality, and make sure you're safe when you're maneuvering. Slow is the way to go. Make sure you don't rush anything, and keep watching each side as you're going forward and backward. Okay, so a few initial thoughts on this. We've just kind of done a really hard turn with this that I would never attempt with a vehicle because we just don't have room. I've done like a 3-point turn and backed it into this corner of our garage, which we never do. We always pull back in. The only thing that I've noticed is that this grip wants to just come off as you're twisting and turning. See, I'm kind of working it off right now. You just need to watch that. So maybe, you know, take it off all the way and put some kind of adhesive in there to keep it in place. But I noticed it wanted to work its way off. I also wish this button was down here. I know it's not there for specific reasons, but this is kind of how I'm driving it right here. And I wish that button was down here on the handle a little bit more, because this is not an easy place to drive from, this position. So don't be afraid to use both hands to pull in either direction and just kind of steer it that way. But I think the control and braking is fantastic. So let's go ahead and kind of climb this hill, get out of this part of the garage or the driveway, and put it back in the front, because that was all downhill. This is going to be all uphill. Now it's not extreme, but there is a grade. So the most important part of this operation are the wheels on your trailer. So always watch the wheels on your trailer. Make sure they're pointed the direction you want to go, and they're within the parameters of the track you want it to take. So now I can see my wheels plenty out on this curve. I'm going to start making my turn. Easy to control with one hand when you're not making any big moves. And just keep adjusting as you turn. And you can kind of tell the Parkit360 wants to return to straight. All right, there we go. So we went in one way, out the other way, and I thought this thing had the power to handle a giant trailer after just moving this 5,000 pound trailer. Obviously it's rated up to 10,000 pounds. You'll see again, my handle wanted to come off here as I was turning side to side. You can just take this handle completely off. So my suggestion would be get something, if you really are confident in it, get some caulking or glue or something, stick it in there, shove that handle all the way up, because it would be nice if that handle didn't move while we were using it. But I thought the performance on this was extremely good and the braking felt extremely safe. We were going down an incline and it didn't feel at any point like this might get away from me. It was very slow and steady as we were kind of coming up the incline, which these are not big inclines. I wouldn't put this on a 10% grade. I know they probably have a safety recommendation at like 3 or 4%, but don't push it. I wouldn't push it up a hill that maybe you feel like is too much, but just these little gentle swales in our driveway handled it really well. Now, real quickly, we did all of that in high, and it felt like it was plenty slow. I never felt like it was too fast. Let's go ahead and switch to low and see how slow that is. I find that it's easier to turn when you're moving, so I think being in low will make it a little harder to turn. But if you want a little bit slower speed and you're not comfortable with high, I'm gonna just show you what low looks like. So I'm gonna go backwards just a little bit. So this is low right here. Honestly, doesn't feel a lot different to me. And then real quick, now let's switch to high. Go back this way. Okay, now I see the difference. You can kind of see it too. Not significant, but I can definitely tell after driving for 10 minutes the difference between low and high. And then again, you just let go of it and it's gonna come to a full and complete stop, and you hear that little click, you're locked in, the brakes are working. So I think putting it through its paces, just using it around our driveway, which is the most difficult place to get in and out of for me, it's really gonna be nice. Putting it in and out of storage would also be another great way. We've used other trailer dollies for that in the past. I love this battery orientation. Setting like this, I can unhook it when I'm storing. I love that you can engage and disengage the motor to the wheels and roll it around yourself. I wish we had maybe just a little bit more control up here. I kind of just wish this bar was a little bit bigger. I don't know, we talked about the handle and location of the throttle. Those are not big deals. This is a really well-made dolly. I think it feels sturdy, it feels strong, it feels dependable. And with all of the features that it has, I'm sure it can move your trailer around. So if you're like me and you're somebody who likes to get your camper in and out of the storage unit or in and out of the driveway a lot, this would really make your life a lot easier. So thanks for watching today's video about the Parkit360 Force 10K model. I'll leave links in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself if you're interested. As always, my name is Joel. This is the Traveler Toolkit, and I'll see you in the next video.